Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. All right, we're back at Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show, and Deborah Bain is back on with us again. And you'll notice she's showing some guns. We're going to talk about those today because we're going to talk about, we're going to do a deeper dive. Last time we talked about children, kids' health, autism, vaccine injuries, what to do with your doctor and everybody else for making sure that you're at your respect as a parent, taking care of your kid, what they can do, what they can't do, what parents can do, everything else. Go back, watch the first show. Lots there, but we're going to go deeper dive on taking care of the kids because you've had some great success. I mean, you've been having great success for 20 some odd years now, but like recently, we were talking about some stories of just wildly fantastic success because the parents paid attention. They did what they're supposed to do. She said, I need you to do these things, and the parents did them, and it worked fantastically well. So, Deborah, thanks for coming back on.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah. I saw her at Change Life Destiny a couple weeks ago. Huge conference, health and wellness, everything on the natural side of the spectrum. And then I saw her. I'm like, what'd you do? I tucked my arms down a little bit. So we're going to talk about the other side of that, which is being a doctor, and you're telling everybody what to do. Here's things to get healthier. Here's how you do it. And then, like, you've got long days, kind of like I've got long days. And the process of, like, doctor heal thyself. You'll notice there's a lot of overweight, out of shape doctors, and they tell you what to do. And you're like, Doc, why should I listen to you? I mean, yeah. And, well, she decided to be the embodiment of everything that she's doing. So if you're doing the stuff right, we're going to get into the backside of, like, the tracking of everything, and
right.
some cool new stuff that everybody's been getting into that she's taking advantage of. And we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk to her doctor that she worked with next episode. But the biggie, let's talk about here you go. Go on Amazon, get that book so you'll really understand what she does here. Go ahead, pause, screenshot that. And
well, let's get started.
Yeah.
So my backstory: after having 9 neck and back surgeries in my 30s, breast cancer at 39, chemo and radiation, open healthy kids at the tail end of all that. So then fast forward, I have been feeling okay, but then, hormones take over, and then you start getting, past into your 50s, and then you start, sort of feeling some changes in your body that are not very becoming.
Yeah. Can I tell everybody you got a big birthday coming up?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to rock it at 60 coming up in July.
She's going to be 60 going on 30.
Well, at least that's what my HUMAP tells me.
Yeah.
So we'll get into, but I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
I do all of this to help the children in my practice, and I give them this, rebirth, so to speak, of actually getting well. And I kind of felt like I needed to do some of that reset for myself. And, I felt, and started before, you always make those New Year's resolutions in January. No. Yeah. Dr. Chalmers said, no, we're going to do it in December. And so it took me 3 months. And
smart man.
It took, I was not well enough to exercise because, I got joint issue here and there and inflammation, and you don't want to go to the gym and do like 30-year-olds and just, pound. So I had to do something different. And that included just working on diet, which I already ate well, but it was more of a reset, metabolic reset. And tracking and metrics and all those things. So.
Yeah, and you did some stretching too.
Lots of stretching, right? Going to a place called Stretch Lab here in Frisco. Love that place. Rehabbed me because sitting. I'm not sure if anyone else are sitting at a computer all day long.
Oh,
yeah, and then you get that rough. Sort of the desk.
What I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm. And so, just to rehab me so that I can actually walk do my gardening and not feel like I'm limping again. So,
Oh, yeah.
when you're aging, you can't just do all the things that you used to do and feel like you can recover.
Yeah, you can. You just can't do as much of it until you get back into the healthier you get, the more you can do of what you used to do.
That I would overdo it on the day I went to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would be paying for it for,
Yeah.
week or two.
And gardening, if you don't know, gardening is, gardening's rough. That's tough work.
Well, I love my garden.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, but it's gardening's tough work.
Yes. Right. So that's what I did. Lost over 25 pounds and feel like I got my youth back and it backed up the clock, so to speak. My HUMAP said I was 67 when I started, and now it says I'm 52, and sometimes even down to 51. So
very good. Yeah, turn that clock back. So in about 2-3 years, you're back in your 40s.
Well, it was all worth it.
Metabolically, yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, that's a biggie, especially. I don't think anybody realizes when you're in the health industry, medical industry, like there's a lot of long hours, a lot of everything. You do as much as you can of what you tell everybody to do, and then you realize you're pulling 12, 16-hour days along with everything else. And
because I'm up at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You stay up late, it's the stress, the cortisol, it's all the above that you tell patients to rest and relax and take good care of yourself, but yet there's just not enough time in the day to do all that we do.
Yep.
But I feel like I'm striking a better balance now.
Yeah. You run off in the back room, you eat your meal way faster than you're supposed to do, because we're like, no, chew your meal, take your time with it. And we're back there.
I think, especially with this eating twice a day and having that intentional 12-hour fast from, the night through the morning and eating, small meals. I feel like that helps a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm every 2 hours something's in my mouth, otherwise hangry happens.
But you're probably working out all day long at the gym.
Yeah, well, I'm walking.
Okay.
The 10,000 steps. Oh no, I got 10,000 by the time lunch gets here. So
okay, so not me, but
so yeah, you're sitting all day. I'm like a fish in a tank, just.
Okay, so then it depends on your activity, how much you should or shouldn't be consuming.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. Consumption is, here's how much energy I need for the day. Here's how much energy I'm putting out. Here's how much I need going back in. So yeah, for a highly active, if you're sitting here doing this all day, and it's mental stress, it's a whole different thing for what to eat, when to eat, what's going in the body, all that stuff.
But I think, honestly, when we got together again, I said, everyone has the ability to push the reset button, right? Unless you have a disease state that is so far gone. But ideally, if you have symptoms, and most everything is either inflammation, toxic overload, poor diet, that kind of thing, those things before it gets into a disease state could really be helped tremendously. That's why we're so helpful here.
Yeah, kind of like this little. You probably saw this chart last time. Here, if you didn't know, this chart is about to go get his master's degree. She's had this thing for 20 years. So, and this happens for everybody. That means you right now watching this are probably in that spectrum at some place, along with the kids that you work with. And the trick is figuring out where they're at in that spectrum and yeah, getting them going. So you were talking about you had a kid you're working with major eczema.
Right. It seems like we've had a rash of eczema kids.
Pun intended. Or not.
So gotta love the parents. They have to follow such a rigorous treatment plan. Sometimes it's super easy. They have gluten or dairy sensitivity. We get them off some foods. We put them on some probiotics, and their eczema clears.
Yep.
But there are some that are so far gone. Like, just think of the gut lining, like Swiss cheese,
Oh yeah,
and their gut lining is so destroyed from previous antibiotic use and things.
that would be the leaky gut stuff that everybody said, that's not real. There's no leaky gut.
Right. So we do very specialized testing to figure out all their sensitivities to foods, their environmental allergies. But this one particular one that I had a conversation with earlier in last week, months, probably took 6 months, but this kid went from head to toe eczema, screaming, crying, scratching, not sleeping, to now a almost 2-year-old who's actually playing for the first time. And they've been able to introduce those foods that she was avoiding before. And it didn't take just probiotic. We had to do some collagen. We had to do peptides. We had to do colostrum. We had digestive enzymes. It took so many levels. A mast cell stabilizer. I mean, we added on individually, one thing at a time, did check, recheck, how checking in and always praising mom about how good she was doing as a mom, because she felt like a failure because this kid's skin was so bad.
Yeah. And this, I think you're telling me this was the kid was adopted too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't even know family.
Right.
Genetically, what's going on there.
And how much that mom had to, not even her own biological child, but to actually pour all of this into this baby. And then on the other end, she was just thankful. And her kid was just smiling on the little television and having a fun time.
Yeah.
So, but those are just, eczema is one of our specialties, but the autistic kids that seem like I have a new autistic kid every day. I had a mom I was talking to on the telemed just recently as well. And she said, you're the first of the people in this long journey that she's been on with this severely autistic kid, that she said, you're the only one who's really done extensive testing to actually figure out the load of toxins, what his glutathione level need was, how much B vitamin, what was his omega-3 stores, everything that goes into my treatment plan is based on very extensive testing that I've done for 20 years now.
Yeah, and you got a really specific testing group that you use, right?
Right. We use Genova Diagnostics, and I've used them for this whole time. And I know that there are other companies out there, but I have never needed to move towards a different company.
Okay.
And then
So
we designed
for any of the doctors out there looking for a good testing company that don't have one, they want full diagnostics.
But we design very specific treatment plans, not just say, okay, here's your autism protocol.
Yeah.
Because if you're not testing, you're not getting the answers that you need, and then you're lumping everybody into the same category. And that's just not a good way to practice medicine. Integrated medicine for sure.
Yeah. Well, everybody's a little bit different for why they have what they've got, right? So sometimes it's a toxic load exposure. Sometimes there may be some genetic thing. Sometimes there's, I know we talked last time about natural birth versus C-section. C-section having a much higher rate of autism just because they don't get the bacteria they're supposed to be getting when they have vaginal birth.
Right.
Which is
and that's where the cycle of illness always comes in, because, it's the laundry list of things that they continue to add, one antibiotic after another kills that gut flora, and now you're not absorbing your nutrients, and then you're getting medications or anesthesia or vaccinations or medications by mouth. All of that is going into a state of an immune system that is not well. And then you just keep adding to the laundry list of all the itises at the top of that cycle of illness. So
sometimes it comes down to dad not doing this before, about a year before, go into the process of getting pregnant and everything else, because that has a huge impact. Health of the dad, health of the sperm has major impact on a lot of that stuff. So guys, I actually went back and forth with a friend of mine about that not too long ago. It's like, man, but our kids are kind of out of shape. I'm like, not as out of shape as the dads are today. With all the other stuff and microplastics and everything else that they're exposed to. Our dads, they maybe had a little pot belly, but they were still way better shape than a lot of the dads today.
Right. big chronic mess
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
there's
That's what
that
it is.
There's that too. Just so there's another reason why I wanted to talk to you about your specific transformation, because I mean it's for everybody out there. It's because you're dealing with the kids, you're dealing with the front end, which is getting the kids healthier, and the healthier they are when they're younger, the healthier they're going to be as they get older. For the most part, but there's a lot of people that once they get out of high school, they get in their 20s, they start backsliding. So it's kind of a, well,
I see.
yes, getting them healthy and keeping them healthy throughout a lifetime.
I see the scenarios where not necessarily my practice, but parents say, well, they're just going to eat whatever food they want to eat. And then when they grow up, then they'll behave.
Yeah.
They'll
eat their veggies when they get older. They'll understand when they get older. No, they're going to say, I can have a cookie anytime I want now.
Right. And I feel like what we do a really good job of is instilling the healthy practices early on. And when I'm already inheriting that autistic kid or that eczema kid or allergies, ADHD, motor tics, whatever, if I'm already investing all this effort in the lab work and they've invested money into getting this figured out, then sometimes kicking and screaming, but most of the time in a very proactive way, the entire family gets on board to the transformation for their whole family, and using the initial kid that I have to see as that spark to then instill all of that newfound knowledge that they never got in other offices. Instead, they were getting fully vaccinated and they were being fired if they weren't getting all of them. But here they had this chronically ill kid at the other end of, their initial elementary years, and then they're going into high school or whatever, and they're anxious, they're depressed, they're overweight, they have serious acne, they have behavioral problems, they have ADHD, or worse yet, they have full-on autism, and now they won't be able to, even once they graduate from high school, they are not going to be able to be of any kind of contribution to society.
Well, they can't have a full life.
I mean, there's not enough homes to put all these kids that are aging autistic, severe autistic kids that, and 1 in 33 now?
133 now. I think new stats are coming and that number's getting worse, not better.
It hasn't ever gone down.
Yeah, it has never gone down.
From 1 in 10,000 in the 70s.
When I was born, 1 in 10,000, because we had...
It was a rarity.
It was rarity. Maybe there'd be one that would be slightly autistic, and that kid was gifted and talented and super smart, but zero relatability to anybody, but there'd be that one. And now there's like classrooms full. Because I know
there's therapy centers on every corner.
Yeah, I know some teachers, they're dealing with that, with both diagnosed and undiagnosed, and a lot of the sensory issues, inability to relate, back and forth, stuff like that, is kind of an issue in a lot of the schools right now.
Well, the internet doesn't help.
Oh, no.
Facebook, screen time. And then all the screen time that they have to do in school now. I mean, what happened to books?
I was actually watching a news story about that today. They're looking at how do we decrease the screen time in schools, right? Mostly because with all the AI that's happening now, they're looking at ways to decrease screen time because you're not going to need as much of it anyway to be as productive in the future. So
it's just frying up the brain, the frontal lobe. And
is that dopamine hit just constantly?
Right. And then all the video, all the kids that are video game addicted. So much of that we just need to get away from. And it's a huge issue, especially, I'm in an integrative psychiatry fellowship program as well, and all of my extra spare time. And, certainly lots of statistics that they give us on the increased suicide rate to, related to screen times, the anorexic kids, and all the nutrient deficiencies, people anorexic that are then at an increased risk of suicide because of, severe nutrient deficiencies. And so we, as an office, I screen all the teenagers with some screening tools to pick up. And then all of the teenagers in our practice are getting their omega-3 and 6 level, their lipid panel, their vitamin D level, their CBC, comprehensive metabolic. They all need that because statistics have shown that those are the things that are way out of whack.
Oh, yeah.
And offices are not screening for half of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if the cell structure is bad, everything's bad.
And then they're in their growing years,
Okay.
right? So then they can be prematurely short. They're not getting all the nutrient that they need. They're on ADHD medication, which is lowering their appetite, which is then causing the deficiency.
Well, there's about to be a double down because, I mean, there's a lot of overweight kids. So now GLP-1s are starting to get into preteen they're looking at. Actually, I'm going to talk to your doctor about that a little bit too. So speaking of nutrient deficiencies, because when you get on those, I mean, automatically you're not going to eat as much, which means automatic nutrient deficiencies will start happening that were already there. And that'll lead into other issues, especially with the preteen and teens. That's a biggie. So that just like complicates the issue. So parents, just before we start going down that road, there's a reason why we have practitioners like Deborah here that's really dig into everything and stuff like that, and getting to the tests and testing the big stuff, which is, are they getting the right vitamin mineral content, the essential fatty acids, which are major, huge for everything. There's one movie I told everybody to go watch, Vanishing of the Bees. Go watch Vanishing of the Bees. Awesome movie because it relates to what we're dealing with ADHD, ADHD and autism. But they do it with bee colony collapse. And they look at every colony. They take the honey out, they replace it with high fructose corn syrup, and they give them just nothing but GMO foods to source from, right? And it takes five colonies before it collapses. And they watch, and the rate of ADHD and autism in the bees, right, to where they can't do the bee dance anymore. They don't have to relate to each other and talk to each other.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
It's great. Like you're gonna be watching it going, oh. But yeah, it literally relates directly to us as people. And like our own little beehive colony going on right now. And the autism rates track exactly. And we're coming up on Gen 5 for us with our little experiment of adding high fructose corn syrup and everything into the dietary supply.
Right. I don't even need that.
Yeah,
I mean, my husband eats the not so clean of a diet, but that's one of the reasons I was frustrated is why I can eat so well and I don't eat any of the processed foods at all. And so then, after hormones take over, your 50s, you just deserve a little reset. You don't need any tummy tucks.
Well, there's big hormonal shifts that happen every decade. And really in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, especially for women, there's a major one. I'm actually going to sit down with Betty Murray, a future show, me and Betty Murray, because she deals with nothing but female.
Right.
So we're looking at PCOS, which is a big issue for girls of all ages. They're throwing that out. There's a diagnosis for everything now. You got PCOS, and you got PCOS, and you guys, it's like Oprah right now with PCOS. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the metabolic issues of what happens when the estrogen levels decline in women and everything else. And
because the adrenals are making the estrogen.
Yeah. Do a deep dive on that. What happens when you're overstressed and your adrenals are out of whack and everything else. So that'll be but yeah, that's one reason why I wanted to do a secondary show with you. Wanted to dive deeper back into some of this that you do, but also, I mean, you took care of you.
I did, just kicking and screaming,
You took care of you.
I'm gonna rock my 60th birthday party that you're invited to. Actually.
Oh yeah. I've already hit reply. Yes, I'm going. I'll be there. So, but yeah, it's for the doctors out there, she's a living example of, quite literally Dr. Heal Thyself and be the shining light for everybody to see, which is, yes, I'm here, I'm doing 12 hours a day, I'm doing all this. And does just perfect diet and exercise work all the time? No. Do you need some extras? Yes, we all need some extras.
Right. And I feel like that the hope that I give to the parents in my practice, I feel like that, I mean, who better than me to write the living out of the box, but having 9 neck and back surgeries, and then breast
Oh, yeah.
cancer, and then survive chemo and radiation,
Mhm.
and then to open this big integrative practice that I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I get where people are coming from. But
Well, and you went from big med to jumping off that train into natural holistic, which was a big thing, especially where you were at in your career. And then
right.
making essentially like a U-turn.
Well, so it was 10 years of
Yeah.
was just standard treat and street or Western medicine, but 20 years doing this now. I feel like it is here to stay. People who are health conscious, they really want something different than just a pill for every ill that they have, and they want to feel better, but they don't know how. And then the doctors aren't giving them anything integrative. They just are slapping that prescription. Or here's your anxiety medicine, your antidepressant, you have adult ADHD now. Well, then here's your, but let's not, think about diet and, you're not eating any fish, or you're not eating any nuts or seeds.
You're only sleeping 3 hours a night.
Right. And you're loading up on your sodas and your high fructose corn syrup or whatever,
Or you lay there for 8 hours and you only got 3 hours of sleep because,
Yeah, so this is my Hume band that I got after I signed up for the program with Dr. Chalmers. And so I got a Hume band, a Hume scale. I can measure all my metrics. I can tell you how much what my oxygen is at night, how many hours I slept, my heart rate variability, my visceral fat, my hydration, my muscle mass, my bone mass. So, and my graphs, I looked to see, just went straight down like that. And now I'm just, not doing anything other than exercising and eating well and still doing my metrics.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And it's for everybody out there, Hume. Hey, guys, at Hume, like double thumbs up. You own
your information, so they don't sell it to anybody.
Yeah. You own your own info. I mean, it's great. Look them up. Great company. I love what they do, especially the tracking that they set in, the amount of time and money and effort they put into the tracking on the back end. I've always been a big fan of Garmin, which they do a great job, but man, for like seeing all your metrics,
right?
Those, it's.
But it also keeps you on track.
Yeah, keeps you on track. Yeah,
you want to keep on doing better.
Yeah. So for the parents out there, if you want to get your kids to exercise and eat their veggies and take their omega-3s and get off the screen time or everything else, well, you got to put your phone down. You got to eat your veggies. You got to eat your protein. You got to get your workout. Take the kids with you. Get them involved. Get them fixing meals with you. Get them in the kitchen. That way they get to
start a garden.
Yeah, get them in the garden. Put those kids to work in the garden. Double bonus on that, they'll actually get their hands in the dirt. They get the probiotics and everything out of that. They get the enzymes. They get the exposure to all the good stuff that they don't get.
Right,
usually.
they get grounded.
They get grounded. If you haven't looked into grounding is huge. That's why kids need to go out and play on the dirt. Funny enough, segue. A lot of the playgrounds out there that have all the rubber composite stuff, a lot of those are starting to take the rubber composite out and they're starting to put dirt back in them, which is
the wood chips.
They're starting to use wood chips, at least that, or they're starting to go back to just the plain dirt, some pea gravel.
That was so wrong to switch to this. Whatever material.
Because do it for safety. You're not going to get hurt as much. They will. If you're jumping off something that's 10 feet high, you're still going to get hurt, okay? You may bounce a little bit more off the rubber. That's about it. So, kids will be kids at time. We can fly. No, you can't.
So the theme here is getting back to basics, right?
Yes.
And I say, do what your grandma did.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, in the past, the margarine was better. Now we're back to butter again.
Yeah.
That's for the brain.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby, for bringing butter back.
That's right.
Getting us off the margarine. Whew, man, that stuff. Wow. Speaking of our grandmothers, like my grandmother, she went from butter to margarine and went back to butter. Luckily, food tastes way better. But yeah, they got back in the 70s, they started throwing that
Right.
stuff out there. And here's all the new cool
Zero
better by
fat.
science. Yes. Yeah. Fat free. It's fat free. It's good. It's meat goes so good. It's fat free. How much sugar's in this thing? Oh, don't worry about that. Sugar's good for you.
Yeah.
How'd you know? We had this study. Who did the study? The same guys that proved that cigarettes are healthy. Oh,
Goodness. Yes.
yeah. If you didn't know that, Philip Morris did a lot of that, did a lot of the stories, a lot of those studies. They do cigarettes, by the way. But yeah,
Crazy.
thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
Do a little deeper dive. For
Sure.
everybody out there, I will just reiterate this. Go on Amazon, get that book. You're going to be so much better off after reading this. So are your kids, especially if you're planning on having kids. You really want to get that. And then, so the R's, this is just brilliance right there. And if you're in the DFW area, actually, well, you do virtuals too. You do a lot of virtuals.
I do.
In fact, she had to cancel virtuals and call off virtuals today so we could do this. Sorry. But this way more people can see you.
There you go.
So, but yeah.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Dr. Deborah Bain, healthy kids, pediatrics. I would show the door, but I won't show the camera. Here in Dallas. And the nice thing is you're part of a hospital. Because you're right here with
Separate office buildings,
separate
not
office,
associated with Medical
Okay,
City, but
okay.
we're,
she's right next door.
yeah,
She's right next door.
downtown Frisco.
Yeah, downtown Frisco. Right, literally right next door. Several buildings, but yeah, I'm sure they send a lot of business your way because they're like, we don't know what to do with this. Somebody called Deborah and somebody sent you flowers. Check that out.
No, but we have people from all over, from hours away, and if they come in for their first visit, then all the lab reviews are done via telemed, so they can and then I have a whole nutrition pharmacy now on my website, so they can click on my full script account, Metagenics, Apex. I have some other different technologies on there as well, and they can just go and click on and order things from my website, which is much nicer to just, hey, come 2 hours to come pick up a supplement.
Yeah.
If they're local, then we have it here too.
Yeah. I'll try to find some way to put a little something on here so you can click it and go there. I will find some way to do that. So you just get here.
There you go.
Get your testing done.
HealthyKidsPediatrics.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get that on there.
All
And
right.
thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
I'll be there for your birthday.
Sounds awesome.
It'll
It'll be a great celebration.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll double down.
There
We'll
you
do a little double buy right there for everybody. By the way, that's gonna be the picture that goes on for the person. This we're gonna get your kids healthy. Hans and Franz help you up. So thank you for coming on.
All right. Welcome.
And, we may do a part 3. We might do a part 3 and go deep heavy into the testing stuff.
Maybe. Let me know.
Everybody out there, sound off.
All right.
Send me a message. Yes, we want to know about the testing. Dive deep into it. Just, there's nerds out there like us that want to see all the cool detailed stuff.
Sure.
This way we can talk about what test doctors should be doing. What would be the most benefit for kids when they're coming in.
I haven't listened to Betty's on the hormones,
Yeah, we're gonna deep dive on hormones on that one because that's all she does.
Okay, very good.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, for everybody out there, thank you for joining us today. Come back for the next episode.